Everybody thinks the Winter Soldier goes to their gym. Most of it's noise, except for this.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most epic Easter eggs from across the MCU. We'll be getting into spoilers for various MCU properties, so consider this your warning.
Direction would be this way, Lord. Ah! Loki!
Number 30, the Garrett Morris cameo, Ant-Man. As Scott Lang tries to adjust to the Ant-Man suit, the technology proves to be a bit of a bumpy ride for him. He shrinks and stumbles through his apartment complex in an entertaining sequence and eventually crash lands on the hood of an elderly man's car. At first, the driver might seem like an ordinary extra, but he's actually Garrett Morris. The Saturday Night Live alum isn't just a talented comedian, he also happens to be the first person to portray Ant-Man in live action.
You don't remember me? We met several times. It's Ant-Man. A-N-T-M-A-N.
Since Garrett was only the character for an SNL skit, he didn't technically play Ant-Man in an official Marvel project. But it's still nice to see the MCU give the actor his deserved due.
What the hell?
Number 29. Name-dropping Stephen Strange, Captain America the Winter Soldier.
Zola's algorithm evaluates people's past to predict their future.
Jasper Sitwell's rundown of every potential threat that Project Insight listed was the gift that kept on giving. Among the notable names was Bruce Banner, Steve Rogers, and Stephen Strange. Nowadays, a cute nod to Doctor Strange is hardly anything to freak out over, but the thing you have to remember is that at this point Doctor Strange hadn't debuted in the MCU yet. Plus, this was before we knew Benedict Cumberbatch would get the role.
Bruce Banner, Stephen Strange, anyone who's a threat to Hydra. Now, or in the future.
So, a line that teased the arrival of the Sorcerer Supreme and the mystical side of the MCU was more than enough to excite fans. If Hydra was scared of Stephen back when he was just a surgeon, they must be absolutely terrified of him now.
Not in the least.
Number 28. Frozen Captain America, the Incredible Hulk.
You've been asleep, Cap, for almost 70 years.
Steve Rogers spent a long time submerged in ice, but that doesn't mean nothing memorable happened during his 70-year-long nap. In an infamous deleted scene from The Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner travels to the Arctic and tries to take his own life. But the attempt simply causes him to transform into the Hulk, who puts a stop to the whole thing. In fact, Hulk causes a calamity that disrupts the ice surrounding him. If you pause and look closely, you can see the faint outline of Captain America hidden in the ice. From there, it's not hard to imagine that Hulk's actions could have accelerated the Star-Spangled Avengers' eventual return. Either way, the nod to Cap is a great blink and you miss it that proves their relationship goes way back.
Where am I?
You're in a recovery room in New York City.
Number 27. Tobey's back hurts, Spider-Man No Way Home.
There it goes. You okay?
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man went through a lot of physical pain during the Sam Raimi films, and in No Way Home, all of that strain came back. While chatting with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and prepping to fight all of the bad guys, Tobey reveals his lingering back problem. For those who are well versed in the Raimi-verse lore, this is a funny callback to Spider-Man 2, when Peter injures his back during an epic fail. Tobey also had a back problem in real life as well.
My back! Oh, my back!
In a movie filled with nostalgia, it makes perfect sense to revisit memorable moments like this, and what makes this scene stand out more is how Andrew actually steps in and fixes Tobey's back problem. Hey, that's what Spider Bros are for, right?
Wow. That's good.
Right?
That's better.
Yeah.
Number 26. The Human Torch, Captain America the First Avenger.
Welcome to the Modern Marvels Pavilion and the world of tomorrow.
When Steve and Bucky visit an exposition showcasing innovative technologies, a special display featuring a figure in a red suit can be spotted. This is a reference to the Human Torch, but no, not the Johnny Storm one. It's actually a nod to the OG Human Torch, an android named Jim Hammond. Hammond is sort of superpowered royalty, since he was one of the first characters Marvel ever debuted in the comics. If you think about it, it's really cool that the movie about the first Avenger features a nod to one of Marvel's first ever heroes, period. Plus, while it wasn't Johnny Storm, a Human Torch Easter egg in a movie starring Chris Evans just kind of feels appropriate. Number 25. Hail Hydra, Avengers Endgame.
Sorry, Cap. We
can't give you the subject.
I'm gonna have to call the director.
In the midst of an elaborate time travel plot, Captain America found himself in an elevator scene reminiscent of Winter Soldier. Except instead of fighting Hydra agents, this time things went differently. Steve essentially avoided a confrontation by muttering a very specific phrase and leaving the elevator with what he wanted.
Hail Hydra.
The line that Cap uses to pretend to be allied with Hydra is a callback to a controversial comic book storyline called Secret Empire. During that arc, it's revealed that Cap was secretly a Hydra mole all along, but due to massive backlash, Marvel soon retconned this decision. That's definitely for the best, since an MCU Captain America who's actually part of Hydra would be a nightmare. Number 24. Into the Happyverse, Spider-Man No Way Home. Fans of Daredevil are no strangers to the iconic duo of Nelson and Murdock, and in a strange way, we kind of got the return of Nelson and Murdock in this Spider-Man movie. Well, sort of. With Matt Murdock's surprise cameo in No Way Home, he shared screen time with Peter Parker, Aunt May, and Happy Hogan. It's well known that Happy is played by Jon Favreau, but interestingly, Favreau also portrayed Foggy Nelson way back in the 2003 Daredevil movie.
Jackson says he can't remember what happened on the night of the murder, or for that matter, most of the 90s.
What's the good news?
The good news is the fluke wasn't bad.
So, in a way, Happy's scenes with Matt almost take on a new life entirely. Wait, is Happy Hogan actually a multiversal variant of Foggy Nelson? Probably not. But it's fun to imagine what a full-blown Happyverse could look like.
Hey, come on, I got a blind guy here.
Number 23. Mephisto confirmed The Avengers.
We've made some mistakes along the way, some very recently.
While Mephisto officially debuted in Ironheart, what if we told you that he was actually once an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? When Nick Fury approaches Captain America about the Avengers Initiative, he shares classified information with him. Hidden in the very bottom of a secret report about the Tesseract is the name Mephisto. This suggests that Mephisto has a connection not only to the Tesseract, but to S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. S.H.I.E.L.D. has done some shady stuff, but in all seriousness, it's extremely unlikely that they would hire a demon like Mephisto. That being said, him running around as a field agent sounds super funny, so that's basically our headcanon now. Well, you know what they say, the devil is always in the details.
Guilty as charged.
Number 22. Thanos-Copter, Loki.
I can get behind that, but what's your plan?
Don't die.
Okay, understood, but beyond that.
Don't die.
Don't die isn't the plan. It's a general demand of living.
When it comes to the Mad Titan, we have lots of questions. Why is he so evil? Is he the greatest MCU villain of all time? And most importantly of all, does he have a pilot's license? When Loki is banished to the void in the first season of his show, we quickly learn that it's a wasteland, and amidst all the wreckage happens to be the remnants of a Thanos-Copter. In some comics, Thanos actually had a helicopter he'd fly around in, so this is a pretty epic pull. It's just so cartoonishly zany you can't help but love it. If Thanos makes his grand return to the MCU, then he needs to have the Thanos-Copter. Sorry, but there's just no excuses. Number 21. The Hulk spits out a bullet, The Avengers.
The cell was just
In case you needed to kill me, but you can't. I know, I tried.
The Avengers are an incredible team, but when they actually first teamed up, it wasn't easy. In one particular scene where tempers flare up, Bruce Banner explains how he's essentially unkillable. He reveals that he once tried taking his life, but the Hulk simply put a stop to Banner's attempt. At first, it might seem a bleak story, but it's actually a reference to that deleted scene from The Incredible Hulk where everything goes as Banner said it did. It might seem like it's just Mark Ruffalo paying lip service to the 2008 Edward Norton Hulk movie, but wait, there's more here. This Easter egg also seemingly canonizes a previously abandoned plot point. Looks like that deleted scene is also a gift that keeps on giving. Number 20. The Collector's Collection of Easter Eggs, The Guardians of the Galaxy.
okay. This isn't creepy at all.
James Gunn really likes to flex his knowledge of the source material. By including the Collector in his first Guardians of the Galaxy film, he got the opportunity to include a whole assortment of recognizable oddities to thrill his fellow comic book lovers.
What do you let it lick you like that for? Gross.
Amidst the Collector's many cases, we can spot Cosmo the Space Dog, who many will recognize from his time with the Guardians in the comics. Then there's Howard the Duck, everyone's favorite hard-drinking mallard. You can also spot a Dark Elf and a Chitauri. What more could fans ask for?
I never thought I'd meet a Groot. Sir?
Number 19. Tales to Astonish, Ant-Man.
How's retirement?
How's your face?
We've said it before and we will say it again, it's nice to see a character's first comic book appearance get an on-screen nod. While Thor's debut got a billboard, Ant-Man's actually got some lip service, courtesy of the movie's villain, Darren Cross, aka Yellow Jacket.
But just imagine a soldier the size of an insect.
The original Ant-Man, Hank Pym, made his comic book debut in Tales to Astonish number 27, which saw the discovery of the Pym particles and Hank's first experiences with shrinking. It was 8 issues later in the same title that Dr. Pym would debut as a bona fide superhero, adopting the mantle of Ant-Man. In the film, after showing footage of Hank's early adventures, Cross loudly proclaims Tales to Astonish. It's quick, but a nice nod nonetheless.
Tales to Astonish.
Number 18. Ed Brubaker, Captain America Winter Soldier.
I'm with you to the end of the line.
Nowadays, no one stays dead in comics. If a character is killed off, they're sure to make a triumphant return in a matter of months or years, probably with a complicated story arc detailing the means by which they cheated death, but that wasn't always the case. In 1968, after 27 years of service at Captain America's side, Bucky Barnes was retroactively killed off in World War II.
I thought you were dead. I thought you were smaller.
And he stayed dead for nearly 4 decades. Then in 2005, writer Ed Brubaker revived Bucky and gave us the awesome character known as the Winter Soldier.
Bucky? Who the hell is Bucky?
Well, when Bucky came back from the dead in the MCU, Ed Brubaker did it again by playing one of the on-screen scientists. Number 17, The Ten Rings Connection, Ms. Marvel.
You're good at math. Do you know anything about interdimensional travel off the top of your head?
While this TV show mostly stands alone, it has a significant tie-in to the wider MCU. In a flashback to 1942, the clandestines find a bangle, or quantum band, in an Indian temple. On the floor, you can see the symbol of the Ten Rings, the criminal organization from Shang-Chi. But how the band ended up there remains a mystery. Wenwu might have collected various artifacts over the centuries, which may have led to an encounter with the Kree. The quantum bands might also be linked to the actual Ten Rings, as both are ancient weapons of otherworldly origins. In any case, this is an interesting little reference that sparked many theories.
You're being lied to by a creature who wants to destroy us all.
Is that what they told you?
Number 16. Hitler Punch, Captain America the First Avenger. This one isn't exactly subtle, but hey, an iconic superhero punching one of the most hated men in history shouldn't really be subtle now, should it? During his performance for the troops, Captain America winds up and throws a simulated punch right in the Führer's face.
Germans will think twice about trying to get the drop on us.
Even without the comic book context, it would be a widely appreciated moment. But what makes it all the sweeter is the fact that this right hook is taken straight from the cover of Captain America #1, first published in March of 1941. Cap has weathered his fair share of changes over the years, so it was nice to see the filmmakers pay tribute to his fascist-smashing roots. Number 15, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s map, Iron Man 2.
I gotta think about it.
Read on.
Before Eric Selvig mapped out Marvel's reality in Thor: The Dark World, this map was a major clue for what was to come. It marked Tony's Malibu mansion and New York, which could either be the site of the Stark Expo or the Hulk's battle in Harlem.
You can't afford me.
There's also a tease of a frozen Steve Rogers in Greenland, and Thor landing in New Mexico. Then there's the hotspot in Africa that could be Wakanda, and the one in the Atlantic Ocean that's not too far from Talakon. I mean, it is genuinely impressive how they foreshadowed characters who wouldn't appear until years later.
I don't think I want you looking at that.
Number 14, the Incredible Hulk TV series, She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Marvel clearly hasn't shied away from paying tribute to its TV and film predecessors. In the finale to She-Hulk, we get a show opening that is straight out of the 70s.
Jennifer Walters, Esquire, lawyer, millennial, searching for a way to balance a career and her personal life.
Complete with retro visuals and dramatic narration, this is a clear reference to the iconic opening titles of the Incredible Hulk series.
And now, when Jennifer Walters grows angry or outraged, a startling metamorphosis occurs.
Everything from the film grain to entire recreated shots make this a clever gag for fans of the original show. Tatiana Maslany even has a male body double, echoing Lou Ferrigno's role as the Jade Giant. Number 13. Missing arms, all of Phase 2.
It'll grow back, you daft idiot. Quit whining.
Have you ever noticed that somebody loses an arm in every Phase 2 movie? While viewers know that Bucky lost his arm to become the Winter Soldier, there are even more severed limbs in this phase. The villains, Killian, Malekith, and Claw, all suffer this violent fate.
Yeah, you take a minute.
Yellow Jacket also loses his right arm to the Quantum Realm, and even Groot and Nebula experience similar losses. So why did this keep happening? Well, it's Foggy's way of honouring The Empire Strikes Back, and its impact on the franchise. Just like how Luke lost his hand to Vader, various characters in Phase 2 have the same kind of injury. Number 12. Xavier's words of wisdom, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Our final member, Professor Charles Xavier.
There was a time when Fox's X-Men were the biggest superhero team in cinema. While Marvel Studios could have started fresh, they're honouring the old guard in their own way. When Wanda attacks the Illuminati, Charles Xavier delivers some advice.
Just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever. We will see what kind of Doctor Strange you are.
The line he uses is actually from Days of Future Past, where Xavier talks to his younger and more cynical self. This moment captures the heart that Stewart brought to the role over 20 years ago. It's only fitting that he uses the quote to show his trust in Stephen, and it's reassuring that his faith in others remains constant throughout the multiverse.
Stephen, as always, chose to go it alone.
Number 11. Imperious Rex, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Namor was long thought to be a character too difficult to adapt for the MCU, mostly due to rights issues with Universal. Fortunately, Wakanda Forever finally did the character justice. The film captures everything we love about the anti-hero, his signature intensity, regality, and winged feet. They even included his comic book catchphrase in his fight with Shuri. The line Imperious Rex roughly translates from Latin to Empire King. Though it doesn't quite fit his Mesoamerican roots, it's still a great nod to the comics that showcase his arrogance and power. Number 10. Netflix theme, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
How about I just smash our way in?
Because they have weapons, Jennifer?
Yeah, good thing She-Hulk is indestructible, Matthew.
After his return in No Way Home, it was just a matter of time before we saw Matt Murdock show up in another project. Since She-Hulk also features a superhero lawyer, it made perfect sense for him to appear. Their team-up brought thrilling fights, electric chemistry, and a recognizable piece of music.
So, are you like a superhero? Like the Gold Devil?
I'm Daredevil.
Amid some banter between Jen and Matt, the opening theme to Netflix's Daredevil plays. This was a cherished callback to one of Marvel's best shows, and a reassuring sign that the elements that made it work were not being forgotten.
I thought I detected a whiff of virtue in there.
Number 9. Previous champions, Thor Ragnarok.
Let's get ready to welcome this guy. Here he comes.
When Thor gets stranded on Sakaar, he's forced to fight the Hulk in the contest of champions. But who held the title of champion before Bruce? As Thor is brought to the Grandmaster's Palace, you can see sculptures of previous contest winners. Among them are the Hulk villains Bybeast and Darkcrawler, suggesting that they may have been defeated by him in the arena. The more recognizable faces include Ares, a former mighty Avenger, and Beta Ray Bill, an ally of Thor who's worthy of lifting his hammer. The creature known as Man-Thing also has a sculpture, so looks like he had adventures beyond escaping monster hunters in Werewolf by Night. Number 8. Hulk vs. Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
This movie is packed with Easter eggs related to Wolverine's history, and the best one is this blink and you miss it moment. As Deadpool explores the multiverse, he runs into a Logan who is about to face the Hulk. Wolverine's classic brown and tan suit is already a visual treat, but if you look closely, you can also spot the Hulk's reflection in his claws. This image recreates Todd McFarlane's cover of The Incredible Hulk number 340. The art has become iconic to Marvel fans, and seeing it brought to life on the big screen is nothing short of thrilling.
You want to build a snowman? Yes!
Number 7. The original Guardians, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
You know what would be a really kick-ass name? Taserface!
More so than perhaps any other director working for Marvel, James Gunn has a deep love for the source material from which he's drawing upon. While Peter Quill and company are the lineup that have seen the greatest success in terms of both comic book sales and in making it to the big screen, they are in fact the second group of oddball characters to use the label Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a shame that it took the tragedy of losing Yondu to bring us all together again.
As a nod to Guardians who came before his, Gunn brought to life some of the original crew for one of his post-credit scenes. We got to see Starhawk, Charlie 27, Martin X, Mainframe, Alita, and Kruger. Oh, and let's not forget the original Guardians' first enemy, Taserface.
Oh! Hey, what about this little plant? Can I smash it with a rock?
No, Chef. It's too adorable to kill.
Number 6. The Prowler and Miles Morales, Spider-Man Homecoming. When Tom Holland donned the tights, he became the third big-screen Spider-Man, but the first to join the MCU. He received a warm welcome from audiences and MCU devotees, but with Spider-Man Homecoming, he also raised a few questions, like, will Tom Holland be the only Spider-Man in this universe?
Okay. I'll level with you. I don't think I can keep this a secret. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Donald Glover played a small-time criminal known as the Prowler, who, in the comics, is none other than the uncle of Miles Morales, who took on the role of Spider-Man after Peter's death in the Ultimate Universe. Glover also happens to voice Miles on the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, making this small moment truly fascinating.
Man, I wanted something low-key, like, why are you trying to upsell me, man?
Number 5. I can do this all day, Captain America Civil War.
He's my friend. So was I.
You know that a cinematic universe is doing well when it's expansive enough that it can start making references back to its early films. In Civil War, Captain America's third solo outing and 5th appearance in the franchise, he comments to friend-turned-enemy Tony Stark,
I could do this all day.
Does the line sound familiar? That's because Steve Rogers is quoting a much younger version of himself from many decades back. Before undergoing the experimental treatment that turned him into the super soldier he is today, he uttered those exact words to a jerk beating him up behind a theatre.
I can do this all day.
A lot changes over time, but not the fighting spirit and optimism of Steve Rogers.
Sometimes I think you like getting punched.
I had him on the ropes.
Number 4. Mutants musical cue, The Marvels.
You are now in a reality parallel to your own.
This mid-credit scene was a mind-boggling development for the MCU. When Monica wakes up on another Earth, she quickly learns that her mother is not only alive in this universe, but that she's also an ally of the X-Men.
Huh? Mom!
Kelsey Grammer's Beast appears as well, hinting that this could be taking place in the timeline of the original X-Men movies. As Monica starts to realize what's happened, a nostalgic piece of music likely confirms the theory. The score that plays softly in the background is unmistakably John Ottman's X-Men theme, hinting at the possibility of a future crossover.
Which is, of course, impossible.
Number 3. The Amazing Spider-Man number 33, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Come on, Spider-Man. Come on, Spider-Man.
There are many ways in which Marvel has paid homage to Spider-Man's co-creators. In addition to borrowing Steve Ditko's classic costume, an important moment from the comics was brought to life here. When Peter is trapped under a collapsed building, he's left defeated and crying for help.
Yeah, I'm down here! I'm stuck!
This is a live-action take on a scene from The Amazing Spider-Man number 33. Although the stories are different, both feature Spider-Man finding the strength to free himself. The comic has since become famous for highlighting Peter's ability to overcome self-doubt. With that context, Homecoming perfectly captures the spirit of Lee and Ditko's creation.
What the f***?
Number 2. Andrew Garfield gets closure, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Crawl around.
Crawl around?
When Spider-Man came to the MCU, we thought we'd never see Andrew Garfield as the character again. But not only did he make a triumphant return, he also found some closure. Fans will recall that Peter failed to save Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. His chance at redemption eventually came in the final act of No Way Home. When MJ falls from the Statue of Liberty, Peter 3 immediately springs into action and saves her. He then takes a beat to recover, reflecting on Gwen's heartbreaking death. It's one of the film's most emotional moments, especially for those who have followed Garfield's journey as Spider-Man from the beginning.
Alright, get out of here, go.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. All Stan Lee cameos are the same character, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Don't make me come down there, you punk!
There was a time when an appearance from the man himself was a guarantee in every Marvel movie. But even then, we wondered how all of his characters could exist within the same universe. Thankfully, we got an answer to this question. In Guardians Volume 2, Lee cameos as an informant for the Watchers, a race of beings who observe the multiverse.
Oh man. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, at that time, I was a Federal Express man.
We watch him in the middle of telling a story about his time as a delivery driver. This is a reference to his cameo in Captain America Civil War. If those two are the same character, it's likely that all his characters are the same person. Even the barber who cut Thor's hair.
By Odin's beard, you shall not cut my hair, lest you feel the wrath of the mighty Thor!
So, are there any exciting MCU Easter eggs we missed? Launch an investigation down in the comments.